Welcome back to the channel. In the last episode, I spoke about the distinguishing characteristics of each density, that is, the densities that pertain to all self-aware souls, from the third through to the seventh, and how each soul relates to the process of graduation to the higher vibrational levels. Today, I'm going to change direction and talk about an aspect of which many people have only a limited understanding, and that is the veiling process. The word veiling refers to the process of hiding pre-incarnation memory from the mind of the incarnated soul. That is, all souls, having taken part in a number of incarnations, will be familiar with the pre-planning process, the consultations with the higher self and guides as to what the incumbent soul still needs to learn in the ongoing saga of balancing karma, and moving forward to a higher vibration, offering the soul an opportunity to escape the wheel of karma, with its continuous return to third density life on a third density planet. Remember that there are millions of 3D planets in the universe, and with Gaia having recently transformed to fourth density, any graduation for third density denizens will now take place on another 3D planet somewhere else in the universe. So we're going to focus on the veiling process, which only takes place in the minds of third density souls, souls that cannot graduate to the fourth density due to lack of karmic balance, and who still need to stay within the reincarnation cycle in order to learn the important lessons planned by the higher self. You may well ask the question as to why it is necessary to blank the pre-incarnation memory, and the obvious answer is that to know the entire incarnation's plan with all the lessons that need to be learned would negate the intended effect that striving for a value would bring. Put it more clearly, it would be like sending someone out with a detailed map of a required route to a destination. A map that has all the roads with relevant names and red line drawn from the start to the finish. There would be no challenge for the person to find the way to the destination. However, if the soul has given only a few clues for the purpose of working out the exact route, the experience would embrace a much greater learning factor. Making mistakes by taking wrong roads, reading wrong names, and working out how they might lead to the destination all helps in the consolidation of the experience and the intended result. The veil is a very effective method of challenging the soul to seek and find. The higher self will make sure that clues are dropped at the appropriate places and times, so that the soul is not entirely without guidance. And yet it's still of great concern to the assisting ministries who return to third density from a higher vibration, that they may miss the mark because of the veil, and thereby lose out on the entire purpose of the particular incarnation. Professor Elkins asks an important question of Ra. The first change made for the extension of free will was to make the communication between the conscious mind and the unconscious mind relatively unavailable. During the incarnation. Is this correct? Ra's answer: I am Ra. We would perhaps rather term the condition as relatively more mystery-filled than relatively unavailable. It's interesting to note that dreams are a common avenue for this type of mystery-filled communication. Again, Ra offers another reason for the veiling process. This is the only place of forgetting. It is necessary for the third density entity to forget what it really is, so that the mechanisms of confusion or free will may operate upon the newly individuated consciousness complex. It is necessary for the third density entity to work out its true purpose and identity. Without the veil, the entity would have full knowledge of this, which would constitute an abridgment of its free will. So the veil makes you forget your true identity and purpose. Your true identity is that of a fractal of Source. Your true purpose, apart from the progressive evolution of your soul, is that of providing the one infinite Creator with the experience of its creation. But all this is obscured by the veil. To make you as a fractal search for that purpose and identity, and in doing so, you gain the full value of the experience. Ra also has this to say about the veiling process. The veiling process is a space-time phenomenon. It's not present in the metaphysical realm, time-space. The veil only operates within the third density reincarnation, which is in space-time. The metaphysical realm, the time-space, is on the astral plane, where the pre-planning is done prior to the incarnation. A point for consideration to do with our current situation, as we await the harvest and ascension to fourth density, is that it is more possible for each soul to make strong and regular contact with the higher self. This is, of course, bridging the veil between your conscious and subconscious minds, without the need for an intermediary service. This is due to the increasing vibration level induced for all Gaia's inhabitants. People who practice hypnosis techniques are finding their patients increasingly more present in the session. And there is a need to bring the conscious mind under some control, so that it doesn't derail the process of speaking to the subconscious. I discovered that when writing one of my books, The Extraterrestrial Phenomenon, that my higher self, also known as my subconscious, was flooding my mind with information at times when I felt writer's block. I eventually made contact with Vincent, my higher self, through the process of automatic writing. And I propose that anyone who is prepared to put their mind to it can do this. In my latest book, Awake and Know My Soul, I explain how this is done. So yes, the veil is a very real phenomenon and serves a most useful purpose in bringing out the best in every incarnated soul. The information you seek is now much more accessible. However, if you are prepared to do the work, start by making time for meditation so that you can clear your mind of all those pressing questions you have. Commit to successful communication from your subconscious and up your vibration at the same time. Well, that's all we have time for today. Before you go, please hit this thumbs up and subscribe buttons. Thank you for watching my channel. Be sure to catch up with the latest material on the next viewing of Spiritually Conscious Soul 101.